Hey, this is Andrew from The Change. We're going to be looking at the Eventide time factor. Pretty much only going to be looking at the looper feature. This pedal is very intricate, very detailed, and has a lot of functions, so we'll just kind of take it one part at a time. What we're going to be trying to create is kind of an ambient background sound. In order to set that, there's really two important things. First, this under feedback B needs to be under D latch. If it's under D punch, when you press this, you'll have to hold that down in order to record whatever over it, and that gets a little tricky. The second is going to be right here. The decay needs to be roughly 8 or 9, somewhere in there. You know, it can be a little bit more, a little less. And then you want your signal just to be kind of mixed, you know, somewhere around 50%. And that, for the most part, is it. I wouldn't cut the speed down too much because that kind of steals from your signal quality. But what you're going to do is you're going to press active and hit it again. If you press it too quickly, like that, no matter what you do, it's not actually, that is my reverbs going out, not this repeating. So no matter what you do, it's not going to pick it up. So you have to give it a little bit of time. Too slow would be where it's switching. You can see it kind of trying to switch. So that's probably, hopefully, perfect. We'll see. Then the other thing I'm going to do, I have a reverb on, Mr. Black Eterna, and I'm also going to put an Electro Harmonics reverb on, just a Grail spring, I think is what's on there, and then I have my overdrive is Route 66. So what I'm going to do is kind of let this drone out, and I'm just going to use a slide and kind of just saw back and forth on the strings very lightly. I'm going to fade it in, and then I'm going to take that off. From that point, you really, if you wanted to play over this, you could play over it. But really, that's not much of a signal. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of keep that going. You can hit out open note just to drone it a little bit more, kind of creating that sound. You can hear a little bit of where it's picking up the loop, which we really can't help that much. So create a little volume with it, and then I'm going to throw on some of these higher notes here. And if you want it to linger on a little longer, just turn that decay back a little bit, and it'll keep going longer. But the only issue is if you're going to play multiple notes, they'll kind of overlap each other. So it gives you a little bit more time to play, but if you're actually going to switch, it's going to really kind of muddy up that signal. The nice thing about this is, since you're going to be mostly messing with single notes, you can turn that off and you really can play over it kind of however you want. If you want to play with a primary mode, a major scale, you can. And if you want to drop immediately into something else, say Dorian, mixing like the axial theory in with that, you really can play around with that. But for live settings, another useful feature about this, if you want that ambient background noise, is you can just go ahead and hit that, which is that latch feature, and as it's essentially latching on whatever signal isn't there, because I have my volume pedal down, and it creates that nice swell out or fade out. So it's not a very abrupt stop. But anyway, hopefully that was useful. It works out pretty well. Not too hard to do. Thanks.